Welcome everybody, I'm Lily and this is Lily and the Bee. I live in Suffolk in the UK and I record weekly podcasts just showing you what I've made, what I've created and all my ideas, and some of them I make, some of them I don't make. So just a bit of a crafty, making, creative chat along. I am wearing a top I made myself. I'm not going to wear this every episode because I've only got one top. I always wanted to say, oh, I'm wearing and I made it myself, but I've only made one thing, so I am wearing it for the second week. I made the Camille dress, but I just made the top half. It's just a top. And I used this pattern, which was free. Well, it's free, you have to pay for the magazine, which is quite expensive. I think it was £10.99, which came with Simply Sewing magazine, which is this month, which is still available. But I got this pattern, which I'm going to make for myself. And there was another pattern. There was this one, which I'm going to give to my mum because I think she wants to make the shorts. And there was one which, I don't know. Oh, there was this. Oh, it was a swimming costume, but there was this a stretchy dress as well, but which none of us are going to make. But 3 patterns came with that. So I just thought to show you in case you were interested, and you can always just chop the bottom off the dress. Like I didn't even make a whole dress, but it was quite a straightforward make. I don't normally make clothes at all. I think I've made one other thing in the past and that wasn't really wearable. So this is the first thing I've made that I've actually worn. Normally I make clothes for animals and quirky toys and things that I make. So I'm going to show you those in a moment. I've also got, what have I got today? I've got an update on the Hexy bag make along. I've got a little bit of knitting. I normally crochet a little bit, definitely not knitting, but I've knitted something. It's very basic, but I'm really proud of it. So I'm going to show you. And all the knitters who are watching will think, oh, Lily, that's not very good. But basically, knit a row, purl a row. That's all I know. Cast on and cast off. Haven't done it for absolutely years. I never really made anything apart from when I was at school. And then it was just a scarf. But yeah, I'm inspired by Lindsay. If you're watching, you sent me those lovely things in the post. So I had these lovely socks that Lindsay sent me, and they're so nice. And now I keep looking at them thinking, oh, I wonder if I could make a pair. So I don't know whether I can, but based on what I've made so far, you might think, no. It's just about practice, isn't it? So yeah, Lindsay made me these, and these are gorgeous. Lindsay from So Sweet Samuel. And this little cardigan for the Lunar Lappin dolls as well, and they're both lovely, and I prefer the feel of knitting to the feel of crochet, the finished item. I don't know why. I'm a touchy kind of person and I like what things feel like, which is why when I'm making these and they've got wadding in, I love the feeling of them. And I made this and it just feels so nice. So yeah, what's that got attached to it? Cotton. Yes, I'm a feely person. Sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? Right, so I made the duckling last week, which is a cool crafting as a kit I bought to make a duckling and a duck. Orla and Ava they're called on the Cool Crafting website, but I've called my little duckling Gwen, and I've made her a matching dress to my top with the same fabric, so we're twins. I didn't have a pattern because she's quite small, and I don't think there are any cool crafting patterns, so I just cut out a dress shape like that with a neck, and I stitched around the edges, hemmed the bottom, stitched around the neck, hand stitched it, so it's very basic and it actually looks okay. So there's her dress. I'll just put a little bit of a trim around the outside. There she is. And I crocheted her a little handbag, which I think I showed you last week. A little handbag and a little corsage. So that's Gwen. We're matching. It's weird, isn't it, making clothes matching a twist adult clothes? So never mind, just going with it. So well, can you see? I'll sit her there, look at her little face. And I wanted to make her a shawl. And I was going to crochet one, and I thought, do you know what? I feel like knitting. I had an urge after Lindsay's lovely things. I thought, well, I'll practice. And so I knitted a square, well, rectangle. And then I did a little bit of, I wanted it wasn't a shawl shape, so it's more of a cape. So to make it a bit more of a different shape, which it didn't really work, it's now just a rectangle with a wriggle around the outside, I crocheted a piqué, I think it's called, edging. So it might have a hole in it. There it is. So for me, who doesn't normally knit, I'm quite pleased with it. And the wool I got from, I've had it for ages, I got it from, I think it's So Happy Creative, So Sweet Creative. I'll add it up the top, I'll find it and add it up the top. But I put a little loop and a button on it so she could wear it around her neck. I mean, she's got big wings, so it'd be quite hard to make her a cardigan, I did think. But anyway, there she is with her little cape on. Also, it also doubles up as a picnic mat. So if she's out for a picnic, she's got a ham roll in her back, a tucky in a ham roll. And then she can just lay that out, sit on it with a ham roll, keep her shoulders warm. Anyway, I'm quite chuffed with that. It's just a square. So I have been watching knitting tutorials, a few, on making socks. I don't know if they'll make socks or I'll make something easier. I don't really want to just make a scarf or something. And I don't want to make anything too big because I'm impatient and I want it finished like now. I've got a couple of pairs of needles. I've got some, let me show you the needles I'm using. I used because I've got really long ones from the 70s that my mum gave me, but I've got more modern ones, these long things. I don't know what they're called. Don't watch this as a knitting channel and expect loads of information about knitting because I'm asking you for advice. So I used these, which I like because when I knit with the big ones, they get in the way and then I've kind of got all I don't like. So these were nice because I could kind of feel like a proper, like do it like that. And I've got a tiny pair which I bought, but they were too small and I didn't really like using those. But these are size 4.5 pony and they work nicely for that, but I don't think I can use those for socks. So I'm going to have a look today and see if I can find any, and hopefully they're not too tall. And I know there's small, and I know there's different ways of knitting them. You can knit them with the 4 DPNs, but that looks too spiky for me. Too spiky, do you know what I mean, with all the bits everywhere. So I think I'm going to try with these. So yeah, I don't know how I'm going to get on with that, but that's my knitting journey, dressmaking journey and knitting journey. I'm doing so much now, aren't I? So yeah, that's her finish, and I have got the big one to make, but I don't know when I will make the next one. But she's got a cute little face. I like her. She can sit there with Shane the donkey. Do donkeys and ducks get on? Yeah, I think they live comfortably together, don't they? Side by side. So let's put those away with a little knitting pile of things that I didn't knit, somebody else did, but I really love them. So, organising my projects in written form. I have this book, which I wanted it to be a bit more blank. It's got a lot of sections of things. It has got some notes section, but it's got all that kind of thing in, which I didn't really want, but I ordered it online and didn't realise till it came. So, but it's fine. So this dress, I did write in here and I wrote down the size, this top. So I'm organising that, but at the beginning, when it says index pattern, so where is it? Where did I write it? Oh, here we go. I have just written all my projects that I've got, and I've written July and August, and then what I'll do is September, November, I will then go through it. As I go along, I'm going to tick the things I've made, and then for the next couple of months, I'll rewrite the ones I haven't finished. Any new ones I've bought, I'll add on, or I can add them on as I go along. And it will remind me what I've got, because it's so easy to forget. I mean, obviously the ideas are easy to forget. But think even the projects you've got or things you've half made, and you'll put them in a project bag, and you just forget, don't you? So this book isn't ideal for it because it just says index of pattern, pattern name, client, and completed. But I'm using it anyway because I didn't want to buy anything. I'm all for using what you've got. I do like buying things too, though. So I've got Brier bunnies, and I've just put the pattern, like that's called Crafty. All a duck and Ava duck. So I just want to remind myself to make the outfit, which I've done now. Tick. And I've got my Lunar embroidery. I've got the felt cat. I've got the Kingfisher embroidery. I've got my 4 Seasons quilt. I've got the flower-headed doll, my own pattern, which I'm just going to make up. I've got a tiny Hexy's project with the tiny Hexy's. Hexy box bag plus tutorial, which I'm going to give you an update with later. And I've got my seashell vintage embroidery, which actually I've made a start on, so that wasn't on my list, but that's reminded me. I will just show you that as we're talking. If I can find it. This is my embroidery box, which is full of animals. I had a Teams meeting at work the other day and my basket was there and it's got animals in it. Everyone can't see that in the background. My desk is, I've got a down. I was in a spare room, but I felt a bit stuck out of the way, so I'm now in the, there's a special area over there under the stairs, like where the people who had the house before us made a big area, not big area, but for a computer. And I thought, actually, I'm going to have out of there because there's loads of plugs and everything, so it's quite nice being down here at work. I can't remember. Oh, I reckon it's in here. So organised. I'm organised with my book, but not what I'm showing you. There it is, it's in here. So this was from a vintage transfer, which I managed to press onto that's the original transfer. Obviously, I don't know what colours, it was just literally as it was, just the outlines, and sun's coming out. And this is what I've done. Ooh, this is what I've done. Can you see it with the sun shining on it? This is what I've done so far. And these are my colour. Just put them in these little tiny bags. These are the colours that I'm using for that. So let me put something behind it so that you can see it properly like that. You can't really see it, can you? Maybe I'll take a photo of it and add it up. We leave that out and I'll do that. But it doesn't look, I've only done a third of it, I would say. So let's leave that on the top and that will remind me, hopefully. Let's put Shane back. And Gwen can sit next to him. So, where was it? Yes, so what else have I got in here? Cushion for Nanny. I've got to make cushion for my nanny. And I'm making a quilt from the Alice Caroline book. Not the whole quilt. The whole quilt is really, well, not really complicated. There's loads and loads of blocks and everything. I'm just choosing a couple of blocks. And I've heard that there is a local haberdashery, which I didn't know about. So I'm going to go pop there after I've spoken to you and see if they've got any quilting cotton that I can use and I can have a feel and have a look at it rather than ordering it online. And organza and embroidery experiment. Yeah, that's another idea. And a couple of patterns I'm looking at to think of possibly buying, and that's, I think I could add more in there, but that's how far I got with that. And I did that after I spoke to you last time because I had the idea there and I thought, actually, that's a really good idea, my own idea. That's a really good idea that I thought of myself, and it has helped. And like the Brier bunnies, which I'm going to show you next, a couple of people mentioned about those, they'd like to see those, so I've started those rather than Bramble Bear. I've started the Brier bunnies, which is this pattern from Crafty, which is what I bought in May when I went to the crafting shop. And it is a really interesting pattern. I've never made a pattern like this. So I'm showing you, I hope I've started it correctly because I haven't finished it. So it could be wrong. I've used spots for the legs. The legs are stripy. And I did have a couple of striped fabrics. It's the same as that, I think the same designer, but they were pale. I had pale yellow and pale blue and it just didn't look right. So this looks funny at the moment. So this is the first stage. And this is going to be the trousers. I don't know how it's going to work. I hope I've done it right. And you kind of stitch, I think you're going to stitch the legs like this, as if you were making a pair of trousers, and then you slip this inside here, which I have made animal trousers and that's worked for those, but because the body's attached, I'm not really sure. So if you're making it, don't make it yet. Wait until I show you what's happened next week. I'm just showing you how I've got so far, and this is how I think, that's how I followed the pattern, but now I'm showing you, it seems really weird. No, it does say join that there. That's right, isn't it? So, interesting pattern. Excuse me, not how I've made an animal before, but so I've got those two body parts. They look a bit like Skittles, don't they? And I've made the ears, 2 ears. I've just stitched around and zigzagged, and these are little arms. And I've chosen the fabric for the outfit, which is over here, which is going to be this, which I've also used my organza, not on my organza, for my Hexy bag, which you haven't seen yet. Sort of, yeah, I'm going to use this for the little coat and this for the dress. So it'll be this and this. Oh, I don't think I'll change my mind. You know what I'm like, I might change my mind, it'll be a completely different outfit, but this is what I've planned. I put all the fabrics together and thought they look nice. Again, these are just things I've got already. I try and use as much as I can, but then I will treat myself to some Liberty fabric. Oh, I really want some Tilda fabric as well, so I might treat myself to something like that, something a bit special, but I don't use that all the time. I just use it for some things. So yeah, I've got that to go together, so I think that will all look nice. And the outfit is made all in one. I will just show you a little bit of the construction, which is that little bit there, and that's kind of all made like that and stitched there. So can you see it's not a separate coat, like jacket and dress, it's all stitched together. Maybe I could make myself one of those, an outfit all stitched in one go. Yes, so I'm hoping to be able to get on with that with the week and get it finished, ready for next time I speak to you. Put them all over there. I make such a mess when I'm recording these videos, having everything everywhere. So I'll try and keep things in neat piles over there. And what else? I have got, right, the Hexy bag. I'm in the process of making a video to show you how I made mine, and I'm about a third of the way through. After I've spoken to you, if I have time, I'll probably go into town first. Then when I come back, I will do a little bit more recording on how far I've got, but I am going to show you how far I've got. And then, I don't know, in the next week or so, I'm going to say, I'll upload the video as a bit of a make along. Like I said, it's not going to be, I don't have all the equipment to film down kind of me doing it and on the machine, all that kind of thing. And I don't have the time, to be honest, to set all that up and get all the equipment. So I hope it's okay. I'm just going to do a kind of like a make along. So I'll just expand now doing this. This is the stitch I'm using and this is the fabrics you can use, and more of a chat along. I really enjoy doing those. So yeah, and I'm a little bit of the way through. So I'll show you how far I've got so far. I've got my 4, because we're making 4. Oh, it's this bag. I haven't told you what bag it is, in case you haven't watched me before. It's this. Put it out like that. Hexagon bag, which opens up. Got tabs around the top. You're basically making a cube. And there you go, it stands up like that. It's got wadding inside, so it's nice and puffy. You can just open it, chuck your stuff in, and then cut it up, tie it up. So I'm using different fabrics this time, so it's completely different. This is a bit more plain. The other one was all really different colours. So I'm using the chambray. If you didn't have chambray, you could do better. You use a shirt. So here's my first flower, and I've used Nanny's. If you remembered, if you've watched my last episode, I had this, which is my Nanny's. So, and it had a stain on it, so you couldn't really use it. I still feel a bit guilty going up. I mean, Nanny doesn't mind, and I don't know. I think it's because my mum went in a shop, and she might have bought one, but I think maybe she bought it to use it, I think. And the person in the shop said, "Oh, you're not going to cut it up, are you? People keep buying these to cut them up," and sounded like, not told her off, but sort of said it in a bit of a disapproving voice. So ever since my mum told me that, I sort of feel a bit, oh, are people thinking, well, it's terrible to cut it up? But to me, just giving it a new life. And some of these do have stains on. I remember as a child putting beetroot on on accident. We always used to go to my nanny's and have a salad on a Sunday, and I think every week I'd spill some beetroot. I used to love salad, but yeah, spill beetroot all over it. I digress. So yeah, I've got big flowers, which I don't know what I'm going to use. Might use my nanny's cushion. I'm going to make her a cushion, but I've been using these little ones, which are absolutely perfect to fit in the middle of the hexagon flowers. So I've got, that's the first one. And I did use a Liberty. I wasn't going to use a Liberty, and then I thought, oh, do you know what? It's so pretty. And this is my favourite Liberty ever, which I got in a pack from Billow Fabrics on Etsy. It was about £10 or £11, and it was a pack of the Tana Lawns. So it's really the really lightweight, almost silky, which is, sorry about the neck crick, which is perfect for English paper piecing. And I hadn't seen this one before, and this is my favourite one, because if you've been following me for a while, you know my favourite colour combination is kind of like pink and orange, pink and peach, peach and orange, pink and orange combination. So that is my favourite one ever. So I might buy some more of that. So that's the second one. And this one, I wasn't sure I liked it, but it actually looks really nice. Now I've put it into English paper piecing. That one, and the last one I've kept because I'm going to do the sew along, so it's going to be these ones. They are still, they're still separate on there. But it's been nice doing some English paper piecing again, because I haven't done it for a while, so really been enjoying doing that. And I've got this ribbon which I found, because I've got, every time I get anything, sometimes you'll buy maybe some, I think this might have come with some pajamas, and they were tied up in ribbon, so I always keep them in my cupboard. It's called the Christmas cupboard, and I just keep all bits and pieces. And it's called the Christmas cupboard. It hasn't got Christmas things in, but I'll sometimes keep things, wrapping things. But this is really, and I thought I can just use this as the tabs. Obviously you could make a tab, but I'm just going to use this as the 4 tabs. That'll be that way, won't it? On the top, and then I can thread the other stuff through. So I kind of wanted it a bit, it's all hand stitched apart from one part is machine stitched, but I wanted to use it, people can use what they want. Obviously I've got the Liberty fabric which I've bought, but you could buy Liberty scraps if you wanted to. But you could use a denim shirt for this, you could use any fabric, whatever you wanted anyway. But I just thought it's good to use things you haven't got many tabs if you don't want to. They were a bit finicky to make. People might think, oh yeah, I just want to make it, I just want to add those on, easy. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, as I said, I'm in the process of making that, and I will upload it in the next week or so. And what else? Just have a little bit of a chat about my birthday party, my YouTube birthday party. 16th of August, my YouTube birthday, and I was going to wait until I got to 1,000 subscribers, and I think I've got 900 and something, so I don't think I'm going to get there by my birthday, YouTube birthday. So I might do a birthday giveaway instead, and I kind of think I know what I'm going to do, but I'm not sure, so I'm thinking about it. Anyway, so yeah, that's 16th of August. What are we now? 3rd of August, so I've got a couple of weeks really to have a little think about that and see what I'm going to do. But I think it'd be nice to just want to celebrate it really, because I think I've come a lot. If anybody did watch, there's a fly in here. If anybody did watch my first episode and think, well, I have come a long way, I'm so much more confident now, and I'm really loving crafting. Has taken over my life a little bit, but I'm really enjoying it. I feel I've got a bit more of a purpose, a crafting purpose, if that makes sense. And it's nice that so many people watch and inspired to do. I really love that when people say, oh, I've made that, or you've inspired me to make this or make that, and that's really nice. Again, that's not something I expected, so when I started it, so stuff like that just makes it really nice, and I feel like I've made friends. You know, I love reading all your comments, and I always reply, so to me it's like having little chats with crafty friends in the comments. I like all that part of it as well. So I don't think I've got anything else to show you. Let me look at my little list. No, I think that's everything. I'm going to love you and leave you now, and I'm going to go and fabric shopping hopefully, and there's a wool shop, and I might go in the wool shop as well, have a look. So if I buy anything, I'll be able to show you next week. So take care everybody, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you very soon. Bye.